So this is the second video of the comparison. Last time we compared the Golf Mark IV to the 5. Now we compare the Golf Mark V to the Golf Mark 6 EA888. So that's the Mark V GTI. This is the TT basically, but it's the same engine. We compared this to the Mark IV in the last video, so if you want to have more details, I don't want to repeat all this stuff again. Just watch the previous or the former video, so you will get all information which we are showing inside that, where we go very deep in the engine. Last time I also explained about the module, which is the oil pump module, which is in the oil pan, and I didn't show you that physically, so I brought it here. You can have a look. Basically, this is the module which sits in the oil pan. That's not the correct oil pan now, so this is why it's not fully inside. I can show you. If you turn this one here, you can see that's the balance shafts here, left and right. So we have these wheels here, then the oil pump sits inside here. There is an oil pump valve, which is aluminum coated. You can see some marks on this. So it was sticking already. This is why we have removed this. This complete module is around 1,300 euro to buy a new one. And there are many things which are not so good with this. This is why they get rid of this module on the EA888, and they moved the shafts more to the up on the block. There is an issue with the oil pump. There's issue with the chain which is coming here along. And one issue, of course, is this module. If it sits inside the oil pan, you get the oil which is all the time swiveling around, and how we say, it's then together with air. So it's not no oil, it's all oil with air. And this is very bad, of course, if the pump will suck this kind of things. It's not so good for the bearings, and you can have an engine failure. Anyway, this a lot of people get rid of this, so they put back the former oil pump from the 1.8 T25, which is this kind of pump. But this is a special one. As you see, it's a Bartec pump because it's bigger. So the volume, the flow and the volume with which the pump can produce is much higher as a normal standard 1.8 T. We have a complete kit, of course, where we can get rid of this module and install all the parts, so you can run easily and without issues. And I can only recommend, of course, to buy our complete kit, because sometimes the people call us, look, I bought somewhere a cheaper kit with the normal pump, and now I have issues with the oil or the oil pressure, which is not so easy to measure also on that engine, but I can promise you will run into problems with the oil pressure if you don't take our bits and pieces and basically a full kit, and not only a part here, a part there. In the end, you will gain nothing if you have to remove the oil pan again, remove the oil pump or other bits and pieces. It's more work at the end, and in the end you have to spend more money than rather buying a complete kit. I think our kit is around 800 euros now, so think a bit, please. Then I have a question, because we developed also this sump, which you can use later. If you see, we have this baffles inside, and also here is this rubber baffles, and the oil pump itself is installed like this later on. And if you know why, I would be happy if you write in the comments why you think this is so nice or so important to have. And of course, thumbs up if you like our videos. So next step, we go to my favorite car. It's the Golf Mark 6. So this is my daily bitch. I drive all the time with this car, winter, summer, whenever. And because I like it very much. It's not only because of the engine, it's just the basic. It's the suspension, the DSG shifting, and the power, everything is very nice. This is why that's basically my favorite car. So I'm not very independently talking about this, but I will try to be as much independent as possible. We have to make sure that you know the Mark 6 GTI has the EA888 engine with chain-driven engine. And the Mark 6 GTI R, or just the R, which is the stronger model, has the older engine. It's the EA113, and it's driven by the belt. So So basically like the Mark V, just more powerful. So just that you know, there are two different kinds of a Mark VI Golf. We have this is the GTI, just GTI. So as I say already, it's chain driven, and this is the generation 2 already. There was a generation 1. I don't think it was worldwide, but I know it's in Germany. It was installed in the Scirocco. They had problems, of course, with the chain, same as here. The chain was getting longer. They have problem with the piston rings, the first generation. The first generation doesn't have closed loop lambda control. Yeah, they don't have this, which is not so good for us as a tuner, because even the Mark V has this closed loop lambda, which means under full throttle, if you go full boost, you go full stop, as I say, you still have lambda control active. So the lambda control will always give you to the target. It will go to the target. You want lambda 0.8, for example, it will always go to this lambda. If you don't have this control, you don't know where you are lambda-wise. And if you put a bigger turbo and downpipe and whatever, and then you can break the engine very easily because you don't have this control. It's like a life insurance for your engine. You can install a separate gauge where you look at it, but it's always not the same as the engine will regulate that for you. So this is also a negative point on the Gen 1. The Gen 2 does have it. And you can also recognize it as the engine code CCZ and then A or B at the end. You can recognize it very easy on the high pressure fuel pump. This is the coated, we just coated, so you can see it more clear. You have the hexagon here, and on the former, on the Gen 1 model, it's completely closed. It looks like this one here. So if you have a high pressure fuel pump which is built with this kind, so it's not with a hexagon, you cannot take it apart. You have the older model, and you cannot put in, for example, stronger Autotech fuel pump kit inside. The only option for the older model is to get bigger injectors, which we of course also sell. So better take the Gen 2, and you can also see sometimes we have, this is why you see it's kind of expert car, or it's a test car basically. Yeah, I like to test it on my own. Sometimes you see this on the spark plugs. We have different spark plugs here with a question mark, because this is some customers, they say, we bought some ignition coils from you guys, but they don't run, so I tell them to send them back. I put them in my car, I drive 2 days, and then we see if they're good or not. As you see, most of them are good in the end. The chain, you can do this of course by Audi or VW. In the service, I think maybe it's around 1,300 euro. Then you have a complete new chain. It will not get any more longer because it's the newest version. Then you just put some new spark plugs and some coils, maybe some air filter, as we have here. This part you can put easily on your own. The upgrade spark plugs, coils, and the air filter. So it's very easy to install. It's not much in money-wise. And I think then in the end you have a safe car. We also made a good compare on the dyno, which I want to show you now. So we go to the dyno now. So now we are here on the dyno, and we made a compare to the Golf Mark V to the Golf Mark VI. You can see the bigger curve. This is the older model, so the Mark V. On the thinner one, this is the MK6. I prefer this view without all the other graphs because it's better to explain. The red one, that's the power, the engine power, and the orange one is the engine torque. So the torque is the most important for us basically. You can see if we go for I can catch the cursor. I have to say this is a compare where we compare apples against apples. It's only the stage 1, so it's only ship tuning, and with all this small bits and pieces like spark plugs or coils or the PCV fix which we have installed. And but this is not so big in the power change as if you put a bigger turbo or downpipe, of course. So we just compare basically a stock car with only with a chip tuning, so that we know exactly how much power we gain from the model to the newest generation. That's the RPM here. We start 2000 RPM, then the boost is rising here. I can show you also the boost, of course. It's the analog sensor here. That's the boost. So the overboost, we have around about 1.2, 1.3 bar, and then it's dropping here, and that's the boost at the end is 0.7, 0.8 for the Mark V. So I will get this rid of again, and as you see, we start here 2000, 3000, 4000. Basically it's the same. I mean, here is a small torque difference, but that's not much. If you make a second or a third run, and maybe the climate condition will change or whatever, this will be the same. I have to admit the Maha is very, very accurate. If we make the runs at the same day, you get basically complete same figures. But this is very important for us to compare parts, of course. So, and here is the breaking point, nearly or after 4800. Yeah, something like this. You can see the RPM here. You can see the power, which is here, and here is the power also, which is already corrected. That's the torque, and here is the torque as well. So basically here we have already a bigger gap. We have 344 of torque, 300, let's say 380 maybe. So it's around 30 Newton meter more of torque with the Mark VI. And this is all the range down to the limiter, and similar to it's similar with the power you have here. It's 250 to 275, so also 30 horsepower roundabout, and this is something which you already will feel. And this is what I mean. I mean, all generation, you will see this also. We will make this compare also with the Mark VII, the generation 3, and you will see always power is higher and higher and higher, which is of course good for us. So just take this into your consideration, which car you will choose. And now we make the final step. So back from the dyno now, the conclusion. I want to make it easy for you to choose or to decide which car you want to buy. Mark V. Look at the video which we made before, where we compared the Mark IV to the Mark V. You will find all the details, what you have to replace, how much you have to invest to get a safe car. Or you choose the Mark VI, which I already said, it's my personally, my daily driver, and I very like this engine, this concept. And also the Mark VI, of course, is a newer car. For sure you have to spend more money in such a car than in the older, maybe 20 years already older Mark VI, not 20 but maybe 15. You have to invest more, but I think in the end you get something which is better and more reliable, also power-wise, as we showed with the dyno. You can go for K04 upgrade turbo also on this car with some piping and a downpipe. It's already tested. We already have installed this in this car. So this is also why I like it very much. And especially the EA888 engine code. No, not the engine code, it's the engine base. We will make a next video, number 3, with the Mark VII, and we will explain more also about this block, which is also my favorite one. See you.